Unit 1. Summer School. Listening 1. Read and listen.
International Summer School. Welcome to the International Summer School. There are children from all over the world here. They camp and cook outside. In the daytime, they do lots of activities. This is Luis. He's 9 years old. He's from Brazil. He likes kayaking and playing basketball. He doesn't like painting. He likes doing pottery. And this is Alice. She's 8 years old. She's from the USA. She likes doing gymnastics and trampolining. She doesn't like playing tennis, but she likes playing table tennis. Vadim and his sister Rada are at the summer camp. They are from Russia. This is a photo of them in their tent. Vadim is 10 years old. He likes camping with his sister and his friends. He doesn't like playing football. He likes kayaking, and he likes cooking outside. Rada is 9 years old. She likes camping too. She also likes doing pottery and playing table tennis. She doesn't like cooking outside.
Unit 2. Our Things. Listening 2. Read and listen.
Hi, Zoe. Can we borrow your alarm clock? And your torch?
Yes, you can, but be careful with them. Here they are.
Hi, Dad. Have you got a suitcase? And an umbrella? And a helmet?
Yes, I have. Here they are.
Please, can we borrow them, Dad? Hi, Mum. Can we borrow your laptop, please?
No, you can't. I'm working. You can borrow this calculator.
Great! Thanks, Mum.
Here it is. Be careful with it.
What are they doing with our things?
They're in the living room.
Twins? What are you doing? Come and look at our spaceship!
So that's what you're doing with our things.
Unit 3. A Safe Place. Listening 3. Read and listen.
What do you know about jungles and the animals that live there? Lots of different animals live in jungles. Jungles are beautiful, but people are making the jungles polluted and dangerous. They are cutting down the trees. The animals are not safe. They need help. This is Sepilok Park in Malaysia. It's a big park for orangutans. They are safe here. There are lots of big, tall trees. People can't cut these trees down. 80 orangutans are living free in this park. Look, can you see the orangutans in this picture? They are climbing and playing. They're funny. The rangers give them food. These orangutans are eating watermelon. Visitors can go to the park to see the orangutans. They watch them and take photographs. There are other animals here too. Rhinos and bears are not safe in the jungle. They are living free in Sepilok Park too. It's a safe and beautiful place. Come and visit.
Unit 4. Life in Space. Listening 4. Read and listen.
Michael Lopez Alegria is an astronaut. He is from Spain, but he lives in the USA. He works with other astronauts to learn about the planets. The astronauts live in space for months. They work and sleep on their space station. The alarm clock rings early and the astronauts get up. They get dressed and they have breakfast. Eating in space is funny. Everything floats around. After breakfast, they brush their teeth and start work. Michael's job is looking at the planets with a telescope. He can learn a lot about space. He is busy all day. After work, the astronauts write emails or they exercise. Then they have dinner and watch DVDs. Finally, they go to bed. They sleep in sleeping bags. It is difficult to sleep because you can't lie down. Some days the astronauts go outside the space station. They call this spacewalking. They wear special suits when they do a spacewalk.
Unit 5. At the museum. Listening 5. Read and listen.
Do you have sleepovers and stay at your cousin's house all night? Imagine staying all night in a museum. That's the big night. It's a sleepover at the museum. It's dark in the museum at night. Is it scary? No. Is it boring? No. It's exciting. Come and see. Welcome to the big night at the museum. In the day, you can visit the museum, and at night, you can sleep there. The big night starts at 6:30 in the evening. Bring a comfortable sleeping bag and a torch. These are the activities. 7 o'clock. Egypt quiz. You can win exciting prizes. 7:30. Dinner in the cafe in the museum. Lovely food and great milkshakes. 8 o'clock. Art. Make posters about Egypt or make a scary mask. 9 o'clock. Amazing stories from ancient Egypt. Very funny and not boring. 10 o'clock. Bedtime. Get into your sleeping bags and get comfortable. 8 o'clock. Wake up. Time for breakfast. 9 o'clock. Gallery visit. Watch a film about ancient Egypt. The big night finishes at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Watch out! Children always want to come again.
Unit 6. Australia. Listening 6. Read and listen.
Australia is the biggest island in the world. A lot of people in Australia live by the coast. They like surfing and going to the beach. Australians speak English. They sometimes call their country Oz. The biggest city in Australia is Sydney. There's a big bridge in Sydney. It's called Sydney Harbour Bridge. You can climb it. Look at the picture. This is what you can see from the top. There are lots of mountains in Australia. The highest mountain in Australia is Mount Kosciuszko. You can ski there in winter. The Great Barrier Reef is in the sea off the coast of Australia. It's very big. You can see it from space. There are lots of deserts in Australia. Australians call the desert the Outback. It's a very dry country. The Great Victoria Desert is the biggest desert in Australia. Australia has got lots of special animals. Kangaroos can jump 3 meters. Koalas live in trees and eat the leaves. The emu is a very big bird. It runs very fast, but it can't fly. There are crocodiles and snakes too. They're dangerous.
Unit 7. Let's play boatman. Listening 7. Read and listen.
Do you play games with your friends at school? Where do you play? In the UK, children play games outside in the playground. A traditional playground game is boatman. This is how to play it. One child is the boatman. The others must stand at the side of the playground. They must ask, "Boatman, can we go across the river?" The boatman says, "You can go across the river if you're wearing green." The boatman can choose the colour. If you're wearing green, you can walk across the playground. The boatman can't catch you. If you aren't wearing green, you mustn't walk. You must run really quickly past the boatman. He must try to catch you. If the boatman catches you, you must stay beside him in the middle of the playground and help him catch the others. Then the others must ask again, "Boatman, can we go across the river?" Now the boatman must choose a different colour. You can go across the river if you're wearing blue.
Unit 8. New York in 1900. Listening 8. Read and listen.
What was New York like in 1900? It was very different to New York today. Let's see. In 1900, New York was a very big city. There were more than 3 million people. It was the biggest city in the USA. In New York today, there are lots of very tall buildings, called skyscrapers. In 1900, there weren't any very tall skyscrapers, but there were some big buildings. There was the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor. You can still see the Statue of Liberty in New York today. The biggest houses had electric lights, but lots of houses and flats had candles. Some people had phones, but there weren't any computers, so people didn't have email. There weren't any microwaves. People had big cookers. There were lots of theatres in New York, but there weren't any cinemas. People didn't have TVs, but they had books. Lots of people had horses and carriages, but some people had cars. There were taxis in New York in 1900, and buses, and even underground trains. There weren't any planes, and there wasn't an airport. There were big boats that came to New York from Europe.
Unit 9. The Aztecs. Listening 9. Read and listen.
The Aztecs lived in Mexico about 700 years ago. Their biggest city was Tenochtitlan. Houses were made of wood. Palaces and temples were made of stone. Around the city, the Aztecs had farms and planted fruit and vegetables. They used tools to help them. They hunted and fished too. Aztec children learned at home until they were 14 years old. Then they started school. Boys and girls went to school. At school, boys learned to read and write. They didn't write words, they used pictures. The pictures were called hieroglyphics. Girls learned how to cook and sew. They also learned how to look after children. The Aztecs loved games. They played a ball game on a special sports field. They liked songs and plays too. They had theatres in their city. In the theatres, they watched plays. At festivals, they read poems and watched people doing gymnastics and dancing. The Aztec women sewed beautiful clothes. They used lots of beads. They had amazing hats with lots of feathers.
Unit 10. Let's help the hospital. Listening 10. Read and listen.
Does your class do things to help other children? Do you give toys or money to charity? I'm in class 3D. We're going to help the Children's Hospital charity. We're going to do a sponsored walk. You can help too. Join our sponsored walk to collect money for the hospital. Ask your friends and family to sponsor you. That means they must promise to give you some money for every mile of the walk. You give your sponsor money to the Children's Hospital charity. Our teachers and some of our parents are going to do the walk too. We're going to walk 3 miles on Saturday, then we're going to stay at a campsite by the lake, and then walk 3 miles on Sunday. We're going to sleep in tents, so bring a sleeping bag and a torch. Wear walking boots and bring an anorak. Take sun cream, a water bottle, and some chocolate. Together, we can collect lots of money. We're going to buy toys and books for children in hospital.